Good evening, all of you, and
Yep.
thank you for joining us. This is a very auspicious day because 12th October 2005 was when the RTI Act was codified and it was made into a law and it became the RTI Divas. So, I would like to take this moment to thank our speakers, retired Central Information Commissioner Shailesh Gandhi ji, and very senior RTI activist and journalist Vinita ma'am and Vijay Kumar ji, who are here with us today. They're going to be speaking a lot about the act and they're going to share their experiences. So I'm really thankful to them. There are a couple of rules and regulations which I'm going to request all of you to follow. We've kept all of you strictly on mute. The reason being so that only the speaker is sharing, and after that, when there is a Q&A, we'll unmute you and you can share your questions. For best optimal viewing, my request would be to keep your Zoom meeting on speaker view. Also, if you want to ask us any questions, then please feel free to do so. But my request is please put it only in the public forum. Please do not share your questions in private with any of us. We won't be able to monitor those. And we can also see your backgrounds and homes. So if you really want to keep your camera switched off, then now you can close it. Also, this entire video is being recorded. A copy of this will be uploaded on our YouTube channel, Money Life TV. So you can view that there also. So now, without taking too much time, can I now? I would now request Sucheta ma'am. She could introduce our first speaker, Shailesh Gandhi ji. So, ma'am, requesting her to take over.
So good evening and thank you for joining us today to celebrate RTI Divas. I don't think Shailesh Gandhi needs any introduction to this audience, but let me still do it. Shailesh was the first RTI activist to be appointed Central Information Commissioner. He is an engineer from IIT Bombay, ran a successful enterprise, and then decided that he wants to stop being an entrepreneur and devote his life full time to activism. As Central Information Commissioner, most of you know that in just under 4 years that he was there, he set records for having disposed of over 20,000 cases. He's back to being an activist, and one of the biggest issues that concerns him is the fact that things don't move fast enough and people find excuses not to give information. So without taking more time, I'm going to hand it over to Shailesh. Shailesh, over to you.
Thank you, Sujita. Let me start with my introduction to RTI. As Sujita said, I had sold my business and was wanting to get into activism. Sujita Dalal had called a meeting at her house of various activists in Mumbai to discuss how we can take things forward, how we can make changes, and so on. And there, Keval Simlani, who had just got into RTI and was senior to me in age, he talked of right to information and said this is a very good tool, we should use it. Maharashtra had just introduced a Right to Information Act in 2003 September. And this meeting was also in 2003 September. And police officer YP Singh, who's now given up on police and is a lawyer, trained lawyer now, he said there's a lot of problem with police transfers. Somebody should inquire about it. And that's how I started on my journey on RTI, thanks to Sucheta ma'am, Keval Simlani, and YP Singh. I applied for list of names of ministers and MPs and MLAs who had asked for police transfers. They blocked it, and thereby it became a chain of things. Ultimately, in about 6 months, the list came, and the small victory was that 142 police officers were reprimanded for having solicited transfers. That was the sort of gain, and that taught me that a lot is possible. You can make changes, and we have one of the best laws in the world. I've studied various laws in different parts of the world, and we have one of the best laws, but we are fairly poor in implementation. It's a matter of using the law, and the law can be used depending on citizen pressure. Ultimately, all laws are generally made by parliament or state legislature and are supposed to be implemented by citizens. Here is a law which empowers the individual citizen, the ruler of this nation, the Shahenshah or Begum of this Lok Shahi, to get information which belongs to him. Information, it's the owner seeking information about something that belongs to him. The Act has, of course, 10 exemption clauses in Section 8.1, which are very well defined. Except that all information has to be given to all citizens. Now, I'd like to tell you one other story of usage of RTI by me. The Crawford Market scam, as I call it. BMC had decided that Crawford Market would be given over to all the people who have shops in the Crawford Market are not owners. They are actually license holders. They are hawkers who have been given permission to set up a stall there. They have a license to operate there. The scheme was to give the entire Crawford Market over to the hawkers and the builder, and the deal worked out. I got information in RTI. What the deal showed is that BMC, which owned everything on behalf of us, would get free construction of 62 crore rupees or 65 crore rupees, whereas the builder and the stallholders would make a profit of 1,000 crores. This was a complete rip-off of citizens. We held a lot of meetings in Mumbai. By itself, RTI only got us this. We shared this information with media. Then we held a series of meetings across Mumbai. And in about 6 to 8 months, the deal was scrapped. So that made one understand that one could scrap large corruption deals also. The other scam and various other things have been consequence of this. In the last 15 years, citizens have taken to this water and have trained each other, supported each other, helped each other. Organizations like Money Life have ran an RTI cell. And there are many other organizations who are doing this. And across India, it's caught on like wildfire. I can see Hariram Chaudhary right now in the screen before me. He's one of those who spread this very actively. And there are thousands of people, believe me. And the beauty is, most of them want no money. Vijay Kumar and Vinita Deshmukh are other. Sri Krishna Kachwe, I can keep on giving names. Krishna Gupta, I see on the screen here. Lots of people and thousands of people, most of whom I don't know, who don't know me. But they are all taken to RTI to strengthen their democracy. We are what I call a defective elective democracy, and we have an opportunity to convert this defective elective democracy into a truly participatory democracy, the Swaraj that we had promised, the Swaraj that we wanted. That is what RTI is able to achieve. However, in the last 15 years journey, the first 5 to 7 years, PIOs were scared. Public information officers were scared of RTI, scared of facing the commission, thinking they'll get penalized 25,000 rupees, they'll get a tongue lashing and so on and so forth. After 7-8 years, citizens are the owners of this nation, and therefore you have a right to ask for accountability. This movement, as most of us are aware, started in rural Rajasthan with that simple slogan, Hamara Paisa, Hamara Hisab. It is my money, and therefore I will take an account of that. Now this has grown tremendously, but the resistance, as I said, was from those in power who started feeling the threat that the ordinary citizen is beginning to realize that he's the ruler of this nation, and therefore this was not liked by those in power. And this includes all institutions of government, the political class, the bureaucratic class, and the judiciary. None of them liked the citizen getting empowered like this and the balance of power changing in favor of citizens. Therefore, various things started happening. A, the information commissioners are selected without any proper process. Therefore, the information commissioners are not delivering as they should to RTI applicants. Actually, they are supposed to be ambassadors of RTI. They are supposed to side with citizens as per the law. I concede if something is exempt, it must not be given. But they must do it rationally, which is not happening. Citizens are finding it difficult to negotiate with information commissioners, most of them. There are a few who are good, but the ones who are good are few. And most of the commissioners have no empathy for right to information, no understanding of right to information, and understanding of true democracy. Consequent to this, some very grotesque decisions have been given. And one particular one which I would like to share with you in this small time is Section 8(1)(j). Section 8(1)(j) exempts information that is personal information and which is not part of a public activity. Most records in government are the consequence of a public activity. That's why it's called a public record. Or which would be an unwarranted invasion of the privacy of an individual. Now, what is privacy is not defined. In the Puttaswamy judgment, the Supreme Court has said privacy is a fundamental right, but not defined what privacy is. However, there is a proviso to this section which says provided information that shall not be denied to Parliament or state legislature shall not be denied to any person. Therefore, whoever denies information, a public information officer, first appellate authority, information commissioner, or judge, must say this is personal information, it is not part of a public record, and it is an invasion on privacy, and I would not give this information to Parliament. Information that is not being given is being given without the sanction of the law. Am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, but we lost you slightly in the middle, I think, because there was a small disconnect.
I think we have to do with that, Arvind. Hopefully, the overall thing will make sense.
Yes, sir.
Maybe 50% of the words I say are useless. So this is a way of editing what I say. Okay. Therefore, we need to battle this. We need to insist that our commissioners must be selected by a transparent and proper process. Believe it or not, there is a criteria for selecting a police constable. But we have no criteria for selecting information commissioners, Lok Ayogs, human rights commissioners, women's commissioners, national youth, children's commissions, etc. All these are selected with no process, mostly on shifarisbazi, political patronage, or bureaucratic networking, which is sad. I was also selected with no process. It was not that anybody really evaluated what I did or did not do. It was by a random occurrence. We need to change this for our good, for the good of the nation. We have a lot of bodies, including bodies like SEBI, etc., where people are selected without any proper process. And all these regulators and commissions and commissioners and Lok Ayogs do not therefore deliver. In fact, Goa Lok Ayog recently resigned from his job and said, if it was left to me, I would say we don't need Lok Ayog. Lok Ayog does nothing useful. Why are we building up such things without any accountability? Citizens must monitor the information commissioners, must ensure that the selection is by a transparent process where at least interviews are held in a public forum, where citizens can see how a person is behaving when interviewed. B, we must insist that information commissioners must dispose of matters within a set time-bound frame. We are all mortal. Our lives are not immortal. None of us is immortal. Therefore, for people with mortal lives, the law promises information in 30 days. When it goes to the first appellate authority, he's also supposed to deliver a decision in 30 days. But when it goes to the information commission, the commissioners are taking at times 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, which is unacceptable. With the RTI Katta, we have filed a PIL in Bombay High Court, insisting that the court must direct the commissions, as per certain other High Court orders, to deliver time-bound justice. And this is something we must do everywhere. And before I end, I want to mention a small story which lives in my life and which is in my memory for my entire life. The story belongs to 2006. I'd gone to Delhi for an RTI conference. All the participants were from the age of 17 to 70. In the afternoon, I taken to the stage and he told us this story. His bicycle had been stolen. His dad had brought him a new bicycle and the bicycle had been stolen. So he was telling his dad, he said, let's go and complain to the police. The police station was close to his house. He said, my bicycle is stolen. Let's go and make a complaint. The father said, what's the point? But because the child insisted, the father took the child to the police station. There was a police officer there. And he explained, he said, my bicycle is stolen. It was of this color. It was new and so on and so forth. So the policeman said, ठीक है, मिलेगा तो बता देंगे आपको. So the boy went back. 3 days later, the boy again turned up there at the police station alone without his father and said, मेरी bicycle का कुछ हुआ क्या? The policeman was very angry. He said, don't come here on your own. When I find it, I'll come to your house. If you come here again, I'll put you in the jail. This poor boy went back, terrified. Whoever came to their house, the boy would describe this experience. कि ऐसा होता है, देखो पुलिस मेरे को डांटती है, धमकाती है. This one RTI activist turned up at their house and he heard the story. So he said, will you file an RTI application? The boy said, I don't know what it is. He said, I'll help you. So they made out an RTI application saying on such and such a day, at such and such a time, I gave a verbal complaint to so-and-so officer. They had the name and the designation. I want a copy of my complaint. That's all. This, now please understand, whenever you, so this police inspector had not written it down in any complaint book, which is by law his duty. And he would have felt very foolish saying that this little boy and his father are lying. So next day, the police inspector went to this boy's house and approached the mother and said, look, please ask your son to withdraw the RTI application. The mother said, नहीं वो उसको ही आप पूछिए, उसी ने दिया है, he'll decide. And this boy told all of us, a whole hall full of people, senior people. He said, मेरे policeman said, look, I'll get you a new bicycle. मैं आपको नई bicycle दे देता हूँ. आप ये RTI वापस ले लीजिए. And this little boy made a statement that I'll remember all my life. He said, मैंने पुलिस से कहा, मुझे मेरी bicycle नहीं चाहिए, मुझे मेरे RTI का जवाब चाहिए. That was what I began to realize. This little boy of 10 had understood how important it is to enforce rights, to enforce the law. And his bicycle became irrelevant to him at that point in time. And it's a lesson that I've learned from this 10-year-old child. And there are lots of stories across the country. There are we will lose a very vital freedom. And if we lose this freedom, there is a danger to the freedom of speech, also to the freedom to publish. Freedom to publish, freedom to speak, and right to information all arise from Article 19(1)(a) of the Constitution. And just recently, in the last week itself, the Chief Justice of India, Mr. Bobde, has made a statement saying that the most abused right in India is the freedom of speech. So it is moving. It's not just a mere threat. We need to safeguard, and we can do it individually. We do not have to go into dharnas, etc. Individually, we need to speak up and ensure that we defend our fundamental rights. Remember one thing, somebody said it's very difficult. We were able to throw the British government out of India. That's a foreign government. This is our own government. Surely we can bring change as we like, or as it should be in a democracy, provided we take our responsibilities and duties as citizens rightly. Thank you very much. Thank you, friends.
Thank you very much, Sailesh. This was, as usual, a very inspiring introduction to today's session. Before I introduce the next two speakers, what I want to do is to welcome a whole bunch of RTI activists who've been associated with all of us. We are known to each other and to the RTI Center. And the good news today is that most of you are able to attend from wherever in the country that you are. Today has been a tough day for Bombay. We've had a most unexpected power outage, and I know that some of you are joining later. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to introduce both our next two speakers, because you would have noticed that there were times when we lost Sailesh ji, and both Vinita Deshmukh and Vijay Kumbar are from Pune, know each other well, and they will be able to sort of take off from each other if either of them have a problem. So let me start by introducing Vinita Deshmukh, ladies first. She is the consulting editor at Money Life with over 3 decades of path-breaking work as a journalist and more than a decade as an activist. She's been an active user of the RTI Act to expose wrongdoings. Many people in and around Pune know of her wonderful work with Dow Chemicals and President Pratibha Patil's bungalow. If you don't remember it, you can Google Money Life. She writes a weekly column on RTI for us every week, which you can read today, is one of her latest columns. And Mr. Vijay Kumbar is a very well-known RTI activist who's done extraordinary work in empowering ordinary people to use the Act. In fact, every Sunday morning, You will find Mr. Kumbar at the beautiful Chittaranjan Vatika in all those shade and the garden, telling people how they can resolve their problems using RTI and how they can fight back. And he has been doing this for an astonishing 350 weeks non-stop. In fact, he's also the first ever citizen in the country to conduct inspections of the public office under Section 4 of the RTI. So I'm now going to hand it over to Vinita, but I know that both of you are going to work in tandem if there are any internet issues, because all of you have been telling us the internet is not quite working today. So Vinita, over to you.
So good afternoon, good evening, Sucheta, and thank you so much. Thank you, Arvind and team, for inviting me for this wonderful session. And basically, I really love the topic that have we made progress in this 15 years. ये 15 साल में हमने progress किया है क्या और क्या progress किया है? That is a topic, and I think that's a very powerful one. क्योंकि the government ever since its implementation, वो कांग्रेस हो या बीजेपी हो, they have ensured that from time to time, probably from every year to year, how to dilute this act, how to scuttle it, and how to make it spineless. लेकिन the citizens जो है, RTI activists जो है, उन्होंने नहीं ये RTI Act को अपने shoulder में लेकर they have ensured that it is just running with a challenge to the government and to all the untoward elements who want to destroy it. इसीलिए आप कोई भी political leader से पूछिए या वो जब RTI Act के lecture देते हैं तो वो यही कहते हैं कि it has been abused. That is their favorite. It has been abused. ये blackmailing करते हैं and things like that. लेकिन today that is why I'm going to speak from a micro level, from the citizens' viewpoint, from the hard work that citizens has done, and it is indeed a celebration day. And therefore, I want to start with my favorite verses, that little drops of water, little grains of sand, make a mighty ocean and a pleasant land. And that's exactly what citizens right from the villages to towns to district level to cities from across the states, be it from Manipur, be it Kashmir, be it Kanyakumari, they have used it for perhaps at the individual level. So what has happened is that the common man who used to be afraid to even visit a government office because of the shoddy treatment and humiliation that he used to receive, under the RTI Act, through his RTI application, he has been emboldened to visit the government offices and demand information and accountability. And that, I think, is the biggest social progress that the RTI has done. Secondly, national scandals have been broken, fine, but it is being used by the citizen for his direct or indirect use, which is resulting in which has great social ramification, social benefit, because the little things that he uses RTI for is actually a social problem made by the babus and the political leaders to obstruct convenience and the rightful, the rightful things that the citizen must get in his everyday life. Now, thirdly, the RTI has helped make governance better. कैसे कि दो तीन एग्जाम्पल में देती हूँ, दो एग्जाम्पल्स कि एक पुलिस ऑफिसर ने मुझे बताया पुणे में कि पहले तो हम कुछ भी फाइल नोटिंग्स लिखते थे जो हमको मर्जी में आता था, लेकिन अभी लोग देखते हैं उसको, इसीलिए वी आर वेरी केयरफुल. ही वाज अ डेप्यूटी कमिश्नर ऑफ पुलिस एंड ही सेड व्हेन आई पुट माय फाइल नोटिंग्स आई एम एब्सोल्युटली अलर्ट. लास्ट ईयर मैंने वाइस चांसलर पुणे से फोन किया था क्योंकि एक जो लड़की शी इज पास्ड आउट विद डिस्टिंक्शन, आईटी इंजीनियर थी और उसको नौकरी मिलने वाली थी एक बड़ी आईटी कंपनी में, लेकिन उनको मार्कशीट चाहिए था. लेकिन वो जो मार्कशीट आने वाला था वो आफ्टर, इट वाज द डेट आफ्टर शी वुड हैव टेकन अप द जॉब ऑन अ पर्टिकुलर डेट. व्हेन आई रंग अप द वाइस चांसलर पुणे, ही सेड दैट यू नो व्हाट, आई हेजिटेट टू डू सो, क्योंकि आरटीआई एक्ट से यदि कोई मुझे पूछेगा कि इस लड़की का मार्कशीट कैसे उसको पहले मिल गया, तो आई विल बी इन ट्रबल. So that is the power of RTI, that the citizens have made it so powerful that the authorities actually get scared. There have been instances where, like the passport office RTI application by young Peyush Rai, who I helped, they were not giving him his passport. He was not getting the passport despite clearance from the police. Then when he took his RTI application there, the officer there said, wait a minute, let me just check what is your status. And he actually got his passport because that officer didn't want to accept the RTI application and get a bad name. Then the government officers who had alligator skin earlier, now they are more sensitive and alert. And especially in Maharashtra, वो जानते हैं कि हमको ये information तो इसलिए वो जरूर देते हैं, and this is happening in many parts of the states. So this is the basic thing. At one, it is only on the citizen side where the RTI Act is very pleasant, it is hopeful, and that is it can be truly called the Sunshine Act, not where the political leaders and the administration is concerned. So I have a few examples to give. These I may have stated them earlier, but these have formed a benchmark because of which बाकी के जो सब सिटीजन्स है जिनको ऐसे ही प्रॉब्लम है वो आरटीआई अप्लाई करके उनको भी फायदा हुआ है. तो एक मैं स्टूडेंट्स से स्टार्ट करती हूँ कि स्कूल स्टूडेंट्स भी आरटीआई यूज करने लगे हैं, स्पेशली जहां मेरिटोरियस स्टूडेंट्स है और उनको स्कॉलरशिप्स नहीं मिला तो उन्होंने आरटीआई एप्लीकेशन किया है टीचर्स की मदद से और उनको स्कॉलरशिप जो नहीं मिला था बैकलॉग से उनको मिल गया है. लेट्स टेक द एग्जांपल ऑफ सुकुमार विजय. वो पोर्ट ब्लेयर में रहता है. कई बरस पहले वो साइकिल में जाता था और स्कूल को, और सब बहुत खड्डे थे उस रास्ते में. तो उन्होंने आरटीआई एक्ट 7th स्टैंडर्ड स्टूडेंट, ही अप्लाइड आरटीआई एक्ट टू दैट म्युनिसिपैलिटी देयर एंड बिलीव मी इन one day the entire road was repaired. Now these are small things, लेकिन उसकी वजह से रास्ता भी अच्छा हुआ और सब सिटीजन्स वो यूज कर सकते थे. सेकंड तो ऐश्वर्या शर्मा लखनऊ की, ये तो जरा पॉपुलर एग्जांपल है जहां उसने स्कूल गार्बेज जो था उसके स्कूल के कंपाउंड के आगे she put a RTI act asking what is actually the land use. And then when she came to know it is of the public library, she sent a letter to the municipal commissioner, and today the garbage dump has been replaced by a public library, all because of a little girl who transformed the, instead of just scribbling and putting a hanky on the nose, she actually did, thanks to her aunt who was an RTI activist, and bought her school a beautiful public library for the rest of the life. Let us talk about teenagers. I mean, I always give the example of Bhadresh Vamza, who is in Salvi village of Gujarat. Now, this young boy, he was 16 years old at that time, at around in 2011, when he used to read in Gujarat Samachar, there used to be a page on RTI every single day. And one day, the newspaper published on the rations that the food supplies department gives to several ration shops. So he applied section 6 of the RTI, and he asked कि August 2011 से October 2011 में इस फेयर प्राइस शॉप को सालवी विलेज का कितना अनाज सप्लाई किया है. तो he did not get an answer. फिर NGO from Gandhinagar helped him and directed him to do section 4 under the RTI Act. वो inspection of files किया तो पता चला कि अगस्त और अक्टूबर 2011 के दरमियान उसको ये शॉप को 8,000 kgs of wheat और प्लस एडिशनल फेस्टिवल के लिए 1,590 kgs of wheat मिला है. और रिकॉर्ड में ऐसा है कि सब रेशन कार्ड होल्डर को अपना रेशन मिल गया, लेकिन जब इंस्पेक्टर ने रैंडम चेक रेड किया तो पता चला कि किसी को भी नहीं मिला था. तो इसके बाद he made a complaint to the information commissioner. Information Commissioner directed the Food Supplies Department of Gujarat State to issue an order that every fair price shop has to put up on the blackboard as to how much supplies is got. And there was a huge social revolution where the NGOs also came in, distributed pamphlets to tell them this is your right and this is what the fair price shop has to be transparent about. और उस दिन से ये सब ट्रांसपेरेंट हो गया और सबको उस विलेज में मिल गया अनाज, और वो अभी सरपंच हुआ है वो विलेज का. और कितने एग्जाम्पल्स ऐसे हैं अक्रॉस द स्टेट्स की वार्ड कमिटी मीटिंग्स हो ही नहीं रहे थे, लेकिन आरटीआई एप्लीकेशन डाल के सिटीजन्स ने दे हैव फोर्स्ड दैट municipality or the municipal corporation to hold ward meetings regularly. The next example I will give you is very touching. औरंगाबाद में एक अंडर ट्रायल प्रिजनर का डेथ हुआ था और तभी उन्होंने बोला कि हेड इंजरी से डेथ हुआ, लेकिन जेल ऑफिसर्स उन्होंने बोला कि पता नहीं क्या हुआ, रात 2 बजे वो मर गया. तो उसकी वाइफ तो थी सिर्फ 25 बरस की और 3-4 बच्चे थे. तो उसने आरटीआई एप्लीकेशन डाला जेल सुपरिटेंडेंट ऑफिस में कि प्लीज शो मी द डॉक्यूमेंट्स विच टेल अस अबाउट हाउ ही डाइड. और जब उनको इंफॉर्मेशन मिला कि हेड इंजरी से वो गए हैं, तो वो एक एनजीओ के सपोर्ट से हाईकोर्ट गए और उधर शी वन द केस and the prison office had to pay her a fat amount of compensation. लेकिन वो, so you can imagine कि क्या है पावर वो आरटीआई का. Similarly, you know, 1 minute, there's one more example. Similarly, ये मैंने जो पहली स्टोरी लिखी थी आरटीआई की, वो थी कि ये येरवड़ा प्रिजनर की who was having a life sentence because he had murdered his friend, लेकिन because he had good behavior वो ओपन जेल में था. और एक दिन he started a agitation against bad food in the येरवड़ा prison, इसीलिए उसको फिर क्लोज जेल में डाला गया. सो उसने वो हमेशा इंडियन एक्सप्रेस का आरटीआई पेज पढ़ता था, जो एवरी वेडनेसडे हमारे फॉर्मर और अभी नहीं रहे लेट प्रकाश कर दे, एवरी वेडनेसडे फुल पेज आरटीआई पर लिखते थे. तो उसने इनलैंड लेटर करदरे साहब को लिखा कि मैंने जो आरटीआई एप्लीकेशन किया कि आई वांट अ कॉपी ऑफ द 1964 इंडियन प्रिजन मैनुअल एक्ट, वो जेल सुपरिटेंडेंट ने फाड़ दिया है, तो डोंट आई हैव अ राइट ऑल्दो आई एम अ क्रिमिनल. सो मिस्टर करदरे आस्क्ड मी टू फॉलो द स्टोरी. तो फटाफट से जेल सुपरिटेंडेंट ने फिर से उसको आरटीआई एप्लीकेशन फॉर्म लिखने को बोला और 24 आवर्स में उसको वो कॉपी मिल गया. उसके बाद अभी hundreds of prisoners are using this RTI Act. So let's talk about passport. I've already talked about. Let's talk about the pension. कैसे government officers, good government officers भी RTI Act use करने लगे हैं for the benefit of the citizens. So तमिलनाडु में ये पेंशनर्स का एक स्कीम है जहां पे कि every pensioner pays 50 rupees every month, and after his death the state government gives 50,000 rupees. The treasury department does it. When Mr. I'll just tell you his name because that's important. So when Mr. S. Rajendran became the district treasury officer, he realized that there are lots of people who had just not got this 50,000 rupees months and years after the death of their loved one, of the pensioner. So he went to the treasury, he went to the office, anyway, to the relevant office. I can't make out what I've written. So he went to the relevant office and asked the officer to give the entire list of such pensioners. The list was given and he worked hard to get all the addresses, and at the end of it 3.5 crore rupees was dispersed from the treasury department to give it to 327 pensioners. So even good government officers are using it. We know that former Chief Minister of Maharashtra also, Mr. Prithviraj Chavan, has used it. Then domestic gas cylinder for personal purposes. Mr. Vijay Kumar has done great work in this. But in Parbhani, there was one Mr. Deshmukh There was a shop who forced him that if you get a new connection, you have to buy the new gas stove. And he refused to do it. And so he used the RTI. It did not work. He made a complaint to the Chief Minister of Maharashtra. And in 2013, a GR was passed by the Maharashtra government and sent to each and every dealer saying that, this is not mandatory and you cannot force the customer to do so. I'll just finish in another 3-4 minutes. One case is very interesting because her name is Kamala and she comes from a small village in Manipur. And under the Indira Awas Yojana, there were beneficiaries who had the right to get 30,000 rupees. So when she went and she found that she is one of the beneficiaries, she went to the respective officer and with the application form and asked for the money. So he told her that you can get only 18,000 rupees because there is a Gunda group in the village and they need the remaining commission. So she would have none of it, and she, with the support of the NGO, not only filed a RTI application, but with those documents, they helped her go to the Guwahati High Court, and the High Court directed the district collector to ensure that each one is getting 30,000. And since then, not only is she getting the money, but she, along with other Sakhis, have formed a training program in which they tell them as to what are the schemes that they have the right to and how they can get it without any such corruption or Gundaism coming in the way. So these are just a few examples, and they are the tip of the iceberg. Because in small villages, even of Maharashtra, we have Mr. Vivek Velankar, who will give us an annual award to citizens in Maharashtra who have used the RTI Act and done great work. And you don't even know them until they get this award. So silently, there's a huge social revolution. और ये जो citizens है, नागरिक है ये देश के, उन्होंने ही ये RTI Act खड़ा किया है. नहीं तो हमारा जो RTI Act पूरा वर्ल्ड में नंबर 2 था, वो अभी स्लिप हो गया है नंबर 7 को. क्यों? क्योंकि इंफॉर्मेशन कमिश्नर्स वेकेंट है. जो इंफॉर्मेशन कमिश्नर्स है वो मोस्टली बाबूज है, और वो कुछ उनका तो हैबिट ही है कि अपील्स को हियरिंग नहीं करना 1 बरस 2 बरस. So at one side it is like the bridge is collapsing, and at the other side the citizen is going on building it, and the untoward elements and the evil people really don't know, who are in power, don't know how to stop this. So I think that is a big clap to all the citizens of India and Money Life, which is like amplifying their voices, and RTI activists who are empowering other citizens. And I end with this, and I think long live RTI. Thank you.
Thank you, Vinita. That was a highly inspiring talk and wonderful examples. We're all feeling really charged up. And now I hand over to Mr. Vijay Kumbhar. I've already introduced him. And if there's anybody who's worked at the grassroots level and talked to people and explained to them and empowered them, it is Vijay Kumbhar. So over to you, Vijay ji.
नमस्कार. एक बात आज बहुत अच्छी लग रही है कि सारे लोग 3 गधों की बात सुन रहे हैं. हम उस आदमी के गधे जिसने आरटीआई के लिए बहुत कुछ किया, जिनकी वजह से आरटीआई में बहुत कुछ बदल हो गया, और जिनकी वजह से मैं शैलेश गांधी या विनीता देशमुख आरटीआई में है. वो थे हमारे प्रकाश करदड़े जी, जिनको सारा हिंदुस्तान मास्टर जी के नाम से जानता था. हर मौके पर जब भी आरटीआई पर कोई हमला होता था तो प्रकाश करदड़े जी गाइड करते थे, और लोगों को किस तरह से आगे जाना है इस पर ठीक तरह से समझाते. और उसकी यही वजह है कि मैं आरटीआई में हूँ. उससे पहले भी मैं सोशल वर्क करता था, लेकिन जब मैं कुछ करता हूँ, यह जब उन्होंने देखा तो मुझे उन्होंने बुलाया. पहला ईमेल लिखने के लिए उन्होंने मुझे सिखाया, और उसके बाद जो भी आरटीआई उस पर मैं डिस्कशन करता रहा. और आरटीआई को इतने दीवाने थे कि दिन में 3 बार कम से कम हर बार आधा घंटा हम उनसे बात करते थे, किसी भी एक कानून पर या किसी भी डिसीजन पर. तो हमें गर्व है कि इन 3 गधों की बात आज सारे लोग सुन रहे हैं और थोड़े हिंदुस्तान में इसको मान भी रहे। अब मैं आऊंगा आज के सब्जेक्ट पर। आज का सब्जेक्ट है, क्या आरटीआई ने 15 सालों में कुछ प्रगति हुई है? हाँ, बिल्कुल हुई है। पहले इंफॉर्मेशन देने से थोड़ा थोड़ा शर्माते थे, अभी पीआईओ को या पब्लिक अथॉरिटीज को बिल्कुल इसके बारे में कोई शर्म नहीं आती। पहले 30 दिनों में इंफॉर्मेशन दी जाती थी, अब कुछ सालों में नहीं दी जाती। पहले कुछ दिनों में कुछ लोग सुनवाई या इंफॉर्मेशन कमीशन में जल्दी जल्दी होती थी, अभी 1 से 4 साल लग रहे हैं। तो ये प्रगति हो गई है। और जो लग रहा था कि आरटीआई की वजह से सब कुछ राम राज्य आ जाएगा, लेकिन वो आया नहीं। इसका कारण यह है कि आरटीआई तो सबको अच्छा लगता है, लेकिन जब खुद पर नौबत आती है तो किसी को आरटीआई की लगता नहीं कि उनको आरटीआई होना चाहिए। मैंने कई लोगों से इसके बारे में बात की। आज भी एक डिसीजन आया है कि हमने एक आरटीआई कट्टा की तरफ से ये बोला था कि कोविड की इंफॉर्मेशन जो परचेसेस होते हैं, जो सेवाएं दी जाती है, वो पब्लिक डोमेन में हो। हमारी मांग थी कि 48 घंटे में कम से कम एसआईसी ने उस पर सुनवाई करनी थी, उस कंप्लेंट पर, लेकिन उसको पूरा 1 महीना लिया। उसके बाद भी जो ऑर्डर आया है अभी, वो भी लगता नहीं कि उसका कुछ लोगों को फायदा होगा। तो इस तरीके से आरटीआई को बार बार मारने की कोशिश की जा रही है। और ये सिर्फ आम लोग है, आम आदमी है, जिसकी वजह से आरटीआई जिंदा है। अगर आम लोगों का इस पर दुर्लक्ष हो गया या उन्होंने इस पर ध्यान देना छोड़ दिया, तो आरटीआई की कब की इन्होंने उनको मौत की घाट उतार दिया होता। सबसे पहले आरटीआई पर हमला हुआ आरटीआई आने के बाद 1-1.5 साल में ही फाइल नोटिस निकालने की कोशिश की गई, और उस वक्त अन्ना जी ने आनंदी में उपोषण किया और सरकार थोड़ी सी शर्माई। उन दिनों में सरकार शर्माती थी थोड़ी थोड़ी, अभी बिल्कुल नहीं शर्माती। आपने को जो चाहिए वो सारे वो अमेंडमेंट्स कर देते। उनको ना तो इंफॉर्मेशन कमिश्नर के स्वायत्तता या इंडिपेंडेंस की चिंता है, ना तो उनके टेन्योर की, ना तो आरटीआई की। लोकशाही का गला घोटने वाले निर्णय कुछ सालों से आ रहे हैं और ये आगे और भी आते रहेंगे। मैं एक बात हमेशा कहता हूं, एक ऐसा कानून है, अगर ये कानून, मैं ये नहीं कहता कि सबको रोज आरटीआई करना चाहिए या सारे आरटीआई से ही इंफॉर्मेशन निकालनी चाहिए या करप्शन के बिना काम करना चाहिए। हाँ, करप्शन के बिना काम करना चाहिए, लेकिन ये कैसे हो सकता है? मैं ये मानता हूं कि हिंदुस्तान का हर एक आदमी अपनी जिंदगी में सिर्फ एक बार अपना कोई भी सवाल आरटीआई से अगर वो हल करता है, तो मैं ये नहीं कहूंगा कि वो सवाल हल हो जाएगा, लेकिन उस सवाल को स्पर्श जरूर किया जाएगा, उसके बारे में सोचने की एक प्रक्रिया शुरू हो जाएगी। आरटीआई को अंदर जिंदा रखना है तो आम आदमी को अपने जमीर को जिंदा रखना पड़ेगा और बार बार आरटीआई का यूज करना पड़ेगा। बात यह थी आरटीआई में कि सरकार ने या पब्लिक अथॉरिटी ने इतनी इंफॉर्मेशन पब्लिक डोमेन में लानी थी कि लोगों को आरटीआई करने की जरूरत ही ना पड़े, लेकिन ऐसे कहीं भी नहीं हो रहा है। 15 साल हो गए, जो जिस काम के लिए 4 महीने दिए थे उसको अभी 15 साल हो गए, लेकिन ये इंफॉर्मेशन पब्लिक डोमेन में नहीं आ रही है। इसका कारण ये है कि हम लोग, ठीक है, बहुत सारे एक्टिविस्ट काम कर रहे हैं, बहुत सारे लोग भी काम कर रहे हैं, लेकिन फिर भी उनकी तादाद कम पड़ रही है कि लोग, पब्लिक अथॉरिटीज नहीं डर रही है। तो हमें क्या करना चाहिए? एक पुणे में एक प्रोजेक्ट शुरू हुआ था। जब पहला इंस्पेक्शन तो मैंने किया, लेकिन बाद में आरटीआई लाइब्रेरी बन गई। हर मंडे को कभी भी आप पुणे म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन में जाओ, आपको कोई भी फाइल बिना एप्लीकेशन के देखने के लिए मिलती है। ये हो सका क्योंकि कुछ एक्टिविस्ट की उस पर नजर थी, वो करना चाहते थे, उन्होंने आरटीआई समझा था। उसके बाद स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ने भी ये प्रोजेक्ट शुरू कर दिया। पहले तो प्रोजेक्ट शुरू कर दिया, बाद में उस पर अभ्यास शुरू कर दिया, इसलिए ज्यादातर लोग अभी तो उसका उपयोग नहीं कर रहे। लेकिन मेरा मानना है कि आप लोग, हम सब लोग मिलकर देखिए, कहने के लिए तो हम ये कहते हैं कि ये देश मेरा है, लेकिन ये देश मेरा है, ये अपना है, इस तरीके से हमारा बिहेवियर नहीं होता। आज भी पब्लिक ऑफिसेज में जाने से लोग कतराते। हमारे कट्टे पर जो लोग आते थे, चाहे कोई फार्मर था, कोई अनपढ़ था, लेकिन आज वो वहां जाने से डरते नहीं। आज उनसे ऑफिसर अच्छे कारण से, लेकिन डरने लगे। ये क्यों हुआ? क्योंकि उनको पता चला कि हम इस देश में मालिक, विदेश के मालिक है और हम इनको पगार देते। कई बार तो हम ऐसे लेटर भी लिखते कि पब्लिक सर्वेंट एंड कमिश्नर पुणे म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन। कुछ लोगों को इसमें थोड़ी बुराई लगती है, वो कहते हैं कि ऐसा लिखना नहीं चाहिए, लेकिन लिखना क्यों नहीं चाहिए? अगर वो हमको अपना मालिक मान रहे हैं तो हमें उनको जता देना चाहिए कि वो हमारे नौकर हैं, हम उनको पगार कर रहे हैं। हमारे एक विनीता जी के साथ एक पत्रकार थे, पार्थ सारथी विश्वास, उनको इसलिए मैं नहीं भूलता क्योंकि जब उन्होंने सेक्शन 4 का इस्तेमाल करना शुरू कर दिया, उन्होंने मुझसे पूछा कि क्या करना चाहिए, तो हम कर्सी के हिसाब से उनको बोला था कि आप एसएमएस ऑफिस को भेज दो, उस ऑफिस को भेज दो। उन्होंने एसएमएस भेज दिया। बाद में जब वो उस ऑफिस में गया तो दूसरा उनके अंडर जो ऑफिसर था वो कह रहा था कि ये इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं देनी चाहिए, ये सेक्शन 4 में नहीं आती, वगैरह वगैरह। तो वो जो सीनियर ऑफिसर था उसने बोला इसको सारी इंफॉर्मेशन दे दो, नहीं तो ये सारा कपाट उठाकर लेके जाएगा। ये पार्थ सारथी विश्वास आज भी इंडियन स्पेस में काम करते हैं। तो ये हर एक को करना चाहिए। हमें बार बार एप्लीकेशन लिखना या बार बार कंप्लेंट करना, इससे अच्छा है कि हम हर ऑफिस में जाकर उनको बता दें, कम से कम महाराष्ट्र में तो, कि ये मेरी इंफॉर्मेशन है, मैं तुझे पगार दे रहा हूं, तो ये इंफॉर्मेशन देखने के लिए मुझे देना ये आपका कर्तव्य है। प्रगति ऐसे होगी, ना कि सिर्फ हम बार बार आरटीआई एप्लीकेशन लिखे। आजकल क्या हो रहा है कि जिस चीज की हमें शर्म आनी चाहिए उस पर हम गर्व महसूस करते हैं। मतलब जितने ज्यादा एप्लीकेशन, उतनी उस आरटीआई एप्लीकेशन, उतनी उस पब्लिक अथॉरिटी के लिए वो शर्म की बात है। पब्लिक अथॉरिटी में होना ये चाहिए, इतनी इंफॉर्मेशन पब्लिक डोमेन में होनी चाहिए कि लोगों को एप्लीकेशन करने की जरूरत ही ना पड़े। लेकिन ये किसी एक से नहीं होगा, हमें सब मिलकर ये बार बार करना चाहिए, तभी ये पब्लिक अथॉरिटीज थोड़ी सी शर्माना शुरू हो जाएगी। नहीं तो आज 15 साल हो गए, 20 साल 25 साल बाद फिर हम ऐसे ही आएंगे और क्या हुआ इस पर चर्चा करेंगे, कितनी प्रगति हुई इस पर चर्चा करेंगे, कितने सक्सेस स्टोरीज है इस पर चर्चा करेंगे। लेकिन जो आरटीआई का बेसिक मतलब है कि आम आदमी को सबल करना, उसको एम्पावर करना, वो कभी भी हासिल नहीं होगा। तो मैं हमेशा ये मानता हूं कि अगर वो नहीं कर रहे तो कहीं तो भी हम कम पड़ रहे। तो हमें चाहिए कि ये जो पब्लिक अथॉरिटीज है उनको अपनी, थोड़ी सी लैंग्वेज मेरी कड़क हो जाती है, लेकिन उनको औकात दिखानी चाहिए कि आप नौकर हो और आपको नौकर जैसा ही बिहेव करना है। अगर ये हम भूल गए तो हम प्रगति कितनी हुई इस पर चर्चा करते रहेंगे और छोटी छोटी चीजों पर अपना उसको सक्सेस मानने लगेंगे। तो बस मुझे इतना ही कहना था। पुणे में हमने एक ये चालू किया था, आरटीआई की ताकत इतनी होती है कि जिस पुणे म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन के पास सारी जिंदगी में अपनी प्रॉपर्टीज की पूरी लिस्ट नहीं थी, आज वो कंप्यूटराइज हो गई है। पुणे में एक भी प्रॉपर्टी आज बिना विदाउट टेंडर किसी को दी नहीं जाती। लेकिन ये यहाँ हो सका क्योंकि कोई तो भी फॉलोअप करना चाहता है। आरटीआई में फॉलोअप बहुत जरूरी होता है। अगर आपको सक्सेस चाहिए तो रोज एक सब्जेक्ट लेने से अच्छा है कि कोई एक सब्जेक्ट ले ले और उस पर फॉलोअप करते रहे, तभी हम कुछ आरटीआई के लिए कर पाएंगे। धन्यवाद।
बहुत धन्यवाद आपका विजय जी, वेरी इंस्पायरिंग टॉक। एंड आप जो कहते हैं बहुत ही सच है कि हर एक सब्जेक्ट फॉलो अप करना चाहिए। आप सब लोगों ने किया है। शैलेश गांधी, टू द exclusion of everything else, is focused on RTI. You have been doing real estate and RTI. We need more of you. I think there are a lot of very, very interesting questions just now in the chat, and I think we need to take them forward in a discussion. One of the questions has come from Professor Gareng. He says, if public authorities do not share information on their websites as per the RTI Act, what can we do to make them act? So this is a battle, Professor Garen, that all of us have been fighting for a really long time. And I think there are some good examples in Rajasthan where people have managed to get a lot more information put on the public domain. But I'm going to invite Shailesh ji to respond to your query, and then of course Vinita and Vijay ji as well.
One simple device can be to file a complaint under Section 18(1)(f) to the Information Commission. Unfortunately, our Information Commission is not very proactive. Otherwise, this is a possibility. I had given over 150 orders like this when I was a commissioner, asking public authorities specifically to put up information on a certain manner in a certain format on the website, updated every day, updated every 15 days, and so on and so forth. And I used to personally see that they are followed up. But another interesting thing, that is still laborious and it depends on the commissioner. The commissioner can do it, and therefore there is a possibility. There's another way it can be done. Just this morning, I witnessed the Jan Suchna portal of Rajasthan. It's a brilliant job. So many things that we need to know. For example, on that portal, you can drill down to an individual ration shop, to an individual ration card holder, and see how much wheat he got until that day. Government pensions, variety of things. And they've now got, I think, over 200 or 300 such positions. I think we should try and pressurize the government to create such a Jan Suchna portal. Take the help of media, try and shape the government and say, look, if Rajasthan can do it, why can't we? And the Rajasthan government is willing to share the software and the methodology with any state that wishes to do this. Karnataka is also just beginning to do it. I think in Maharashtra we should be able to do it, and even the other states can do this. And I think that is the way to go, really.
I would like to come in here.
Do please, Vinita, go ahead.
Yeah. Professor Kurian, right? Professor?
Garen, G-R-A-N.
Yeah. Okay, Professor, the answer to your question is, of course, what Shailesh ji said was absolutely right at that level. But, you know, I'll give an example of what I did about 3 months back. Now, a group of residents of a housing society, they wanted a plan of a commercial area which was coming next to their house, although that particular neighborhood, as per law, should not be having any commercial building. So when the residents went there under, filed a RTI, they refused information stating that the file is missing. So I told them, I'll come with you all and let's do a section 4 under RTI. So when I went to the office, they just kept saying that Amikai Karu, the file is missing, so we cannot give you information. So then I went up to the city engineer and I told him, can a file be missing? Then please give me a copy of the FIR. And then he really slammed them. And can you believe it that in 15 minutes, he gave us the entire 6-7 files, and we did inspection of files, and they actually gave us all the Xerox copies. So one suggestion from me, which I have done time and again, is to bulldoze them. Just get over them. You are across the other table, but just tell them it's my right and I must have it. You have to give me the files. You can give me 2 days late. So little bit of this dadagiri and this threatening in a polite language must be done by the citizen, because once it goes to the Information Commission as complaint, he or she will sit over it, like Shailesh ji said. So damn you, become a arrogant, angry and brave citizen, because they have done that to us for the last 7 decades, bullying us. So why not we bully them? Thank you.
Vijay ji, do you want to respond to this
Yes,
suggestion to bully people?
सबसे पहली बात तो ये कि जैसे विनीता जी ने कहा, सरकारी कोई भी अफसर तब तक डरता नहीं जब तक उसके गले तक नहीं आती। इस सेक्शन 4 का इम्प्लीमेंटेशन करने की जिम्मेदारी उस एचओडी की, चाहे शायद वो कमिश्नर हो या कोई भी हो, उसकी होती है। तो अगर आप ऐसी तरह से लेटर लिखे तो वो रिस्पॉन्ड करना जरूरी होगा। अगर नहीं किया तो आपको उसके ऊपर आगे, चाहे बस चीफ सेक्रेटरी हो या और कुछ भी, वहां लिखना पड़ेगा, कोर्ट में जाना पड़ेगा। एक उदाहरण, और हमेशा ये जो बड़े ऑफिसर होते हैं ये आपको जज करते रहते हैं। मैं एक उदाहरण देता हूँ, फिल्म एंड टेलीविजन इंस्टीट्यूट का बहुत बड़ा आंदोलन चल रहा था 4-5 साल पहले। बहुत सारे रोज न्यूज़पेपर में उनकी खबरें आती थी। एक बड़े न्यूज़पेपर के संपादक ने मुझे फोन किया कि ये रिपोर्ट हमें मिलना चाहिए। उन्होंने ईमेल में भेजा लेकिन नहीं मिला, तो मैं गुस्से में आ गया और मैंने ईमेल भेजा कि ये सारी इंफॉर्मेशन पब्लिक डोमेन में होनी चाहिए, मैं कल देखने और लेने आ रहा हूँ। यकीन मानिए दूसरे दिन मैं 2 बड़े पेन ड्राइव गया था, सारी इंफॉर्मेशन उनके पास जितनी भी थी आज भी मेरे पास उपलब्ध है। इसका कारण क्या था कि उनको पता था कि सेक्शन 4 विजय कुमार को समझ में आता है। हम बोलते वक्त कई बार कुछ गलतियां करते और वहां वो वही अपनी गलती पकड़ के बैठते। तो ये छोड़ी को पकड़ना शुरू कर दो, सेक्शन 4 धीरे धीरे हो जाएगा। एक आदमी को सब जगह जाना मुमकिन नहीं है, लेकिन हर जगह अगर ये हो गया तो इम्प्लीमेंटेशन हो जाएगा।
Thank you, Vijayji. I think we'll take some direct questions from people who have raised their hands. May I ask Mr. Salim Sheikh to unmute himself and ask a question? Arvind, you'll unmute Mr. Sheikh?
Yes, ma'am. I've asked him to unmute. I think he should be able to speak now.
Yes. Hello, I am laudable.
Yes, you are.
My question to Shailesh Gandhi ji is that I am Salim Sheikh, lawyer and social activist and plus RTI activist from Pune. मेरा सवाल यह है कि कोई भी इंफॉर्मेशन पब्लिक अथॉरिटी सेक्शन 8J में रिफ्यूज करती, साइटिंग रीजन सेक्शन 11 थर्ड पार्टी इंफॉर्मेशन का, और इसके कॉन्ट्ररी इंडियन रजिस्ट्रेशन एक्ट 1908 है, उसमें एनी प्रॉपर्टी डॉक्यूमेंट रजिस्टर्ड, सेल डीड, गिफ्ट डीड, विल, ये जो भी है, ये सब रजिस्ट्रार इमीडिएटली पर कॉपी 20 रुपए लेके इशू करता है। तो वो सब रजिस्ट्रार इमीडिएटली इशू करता है, जबकि वो थर्ड पार्टी इंफॉर्मेशन, पर्सनल इंफॉर्मेशन थी प्रॉपर्टी की। सेकेंडली, IAS IPS ऑफिसर जो है वो हर साल डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ पर्सनल एंड ट्रेनिंग और होम मिनिस्ट्री पे अपने एनुअल प्रॉपर्टी रिटर्न्स ऑनलाइन सबमिट करते हैं, वो पब्लिक डोमेन में है। तीसरा, MLAs MP जब वो इलेक्शन लड़ते और जो अपना कैंडिडेचर एफिडेविट देते, उसमें पर्सनल प्रॉपर्टी की डिटेल देना होता उनके और उनके फैमिली के, वो इमीडिएटली रिटर्न।
आपको मुझे कन्विंस करने की जरूरत नहीं है, मैं कंप्लीटली सहमत हूँ, ये 8(1)J में नहीं आता है।
नहीं, आपसे इंफॉर्मेशन ये चाहता हूँ सर कि जब ये दूसरे एक्ट में इंफॉर्मेशन अवेलेबल है तो RTI एक्ट तो प्रोग्रेसिव एक्ट है, इसमें क्यों नहीं अवेलेबल?
देखिए, ये अभी आपने कंपैरिजन किया और बोला ये दिस इज समथिंग व्हिच, मगर RTI एक्ट में जो भी अवेलेबल है वो देना चाहिए। 8(1)J में ये नहीं आता है। अगर कोई कहता है 8(1)J में, मैं वापस दोहराता हूँ, उसको कहिए पर्सनल इन्फॉर्मेशन है, हाँ पर्सनल इन्फॉर्मेशन है, पब्लिक रिकॉर्ड में है, हाँ पब्लिक रिकॉर्ड में है। इन्फॉर्मेशन ऑन प्राइवेसी है, वो अगर बोले कि इन्फॉर्मेशन ऑन प्राइवेसी है तो उसको पूछिए ये इन्फॉर्मेशन तुम विधिमंडल को या पार्लियामेंट को दोगे या नहीं दोगे, ये लिखो। अगर आप लिखते हो कि नहीं दोगे तो ठीक है, नहीं तो मुझे इंफॉर्मेशन देना पड़ेगा। 8(1)J के अंदर नहीं आता है कानूनी तौर पे। इट इज अ लॉ दैट वन, इट इज नॉट, दूसरे लॉ में है या नहीं उससे कोई वास्ता नहीं है, दूसरे लॉ में है। और अगर RTI एक्ट के हिसाब से एग्जेम्प्ट है तो वो इंफॉर्मेशन दूसरे लॉ में आपको मिल सकता है, RTI में नहीं मिल सकता है। प्रोग्रेसिव है कि नहीं वो छोड़ दीजिए, मगर मेरे हिसाब से 99% जो पब्लिक रिकॉर्ड्स हैं वो आपको मिलने चाहिए। ये एग्जम्पशन का क्लेम गलत है और उसको उसी तरह फाइट करना चाहिए मेरे हिसाब से अपील में आपको।
और सर प्लीज वो थर्ड पार्टी का मांगते हैं और थर्ड पार्टी ऑब्जेक्ट करता है ना सर।
सुन लीजिए, थर्ड पार्टी इज नॉट एन एग्जम्पशन, सेक्शन 11 इज नॉट एन एग्जम्पशन।
एग्जम्पशन नहीं,
इट इज नॉट एन एग्जम्पशन, इट इज अ प्रोसीजर। कानून ये कहता है if the PIO intends to disclose information relating to a third party, when can a PIO intend to disclose information? When he believes it is not exempt. Then the law says that he will ask the third party to give objections if any, and such objections will be kept in mind, will be kept in view. मतलब PIO को decide करना है ये exempt है या नहीं। Only information which is exempted by section 8(1) or section 9 can be refused. No other information can be refused. Section 11 is not an exemption. This man does not know the law at all.
Okay, thank you so much, Shailesh ji. We've got some interesting people logging on just now, including Commodore Lokesh Batra. I'm going to just take two questions because we're really run out of time. I'm going to ask Mr. Hariram Chaudhary to unmute himself and ask his question. I'm requesting all the people asking questions to keep it really crisp and short. Hariramji?
Thank you, Sucheta ji. My question is to Shailesh Gandhi ji. State Information Commissioners give the order, PIO does not obey it, and the Information Commissioners are helpless. They cannot take any action. So my suggestion is that State Information Commissioners should be given the power to take action against the PIOs who are not obeying the order of the State Information Commissioner. I would like to have the comments from the Shailesh Gandhi ji. Thank you.
Power, they are not using it. They are not interested in acting as information commissioners. They are not fit to be information commissioners if they don't have powers. Let me explain. They have powers if their order is not followed to act like a civil court summons. They can issue an arrest warrant if the person does not come. And he can order that the PIO must come with the information to the office. That summons can be issued. It is within the powers. Unfortunately, most information commissioners like to believe कि हम तो कुछ कर नहीं सकते. अपनी गाड़ी घोड़ा के लिए तो हम सब कुछ कर सकते हैं, मगर काम करने की बात है तो हमारे पावरलेस है. पावरलेस बिल्कुल नहीं है. कानून में बहुत पावर दिए गए हैं. They are not willing to use it, for which I have no other solution. I mean, इसलिए मैं कह रहा हूं कि हमें इंफॉर्मेशन कमिश्नर सिलेक्शन का प्रोसेस ट्रांसपेरेंट और बराबर से करना चाहिए, जिसमें मैं मानता हूं कि एक इंटरव्यू जनता के सामने होनी चाहिए.
Thank you. We take one last question. Mr. Pradeep Kumar has raised his hand for a long time. Mr. Kumar, would you want to ask a question? Arvind, will you unmute him, please? Want to ask the last question?
One question I see on the chat box. My RTI second appeal to SIC has been pending for 15 months. The RTI appeals to the commission are pending from 6 months to 3 years. पुणे में अगर आप होते हो 3 साल का पेंडिंग हो जाता है. That is why I am suggesting that we should insist that the information commissioners must take ownership and give disposals within 60 days or 90 days. And Vijay Kumar, I and various group of people have filed a PIL in the Bombay High Court. I expect we'll get good directions, hopefully.
Thanks, Shailesh. Before we close, I want to give Vinita and Vijayji the chance to say last comments on the two questions, if you need to answer them.
Vinita ji.
Sorry, I didn't get you. Did you mention about the earlier two questions?
Those or anything else. Do you have any comments before we close the seminar today?
Yeah, nothing. Just that I would like to say that I think, you should have more such webinars, because now anybody from the country can join in, because the main thing is to empower every single individual and make him courageous to barge into the government office and demand information. I think Section 4, suo motu disclosures by the public authorities and usage by citizens should increase heavily. Thank you.
Fantastic. Vijay ji, आपको
मेरा कहना यह है कि हर एक को, जितने भी अभी कुछ 50-100 लोग यहाँ हैं, उनको एक प्रतिज्ञा करनी चाहिए कि अगले 2-3 महीने में अपने जिंदगी का कोई भी एक छोटा सा सवाल, भाई वो सिलेंडर का हो या किसी पेमेंट का हो या LIC का हो, एक कोई भी सवाल हो, BSNL का हो, जो कोई भी हो, एक छोटा सा सवाल RTI के माध्यम से बिना कोई दूसरा रास्ता अपनाए हल कर दे, तो मुझे लगता है जो 15 साल में नहीं हुआ वो 2-4 महीने में हो जाएगा.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And in the context of what the speakers have said, I think a couple of announcements, if you would. This has been discussed by all of us before. There are two things that we think are required. One is a meeting ground, a national one, like Vinita ji was saying, for RTI activists who have a lot of experience to be able to exchange ideas and support one another, a sort of RTI adda, if you will. And I think this webinar format makes it wonderful. We have Lokesh Batra ji from the US, who's joined us today. A lot of the RTI activists who've been with us, our former interns are all here. I think this is an important platform as a webinar. On the other hand, you have a lot of new people who are trying RTI, who need guidance from stalwarts doing RTI. So we want to have smaller sessions for people who are new to RTI, who want to learn how to file applications, who want to learn how to do things when they are in difficulty, which will be a smaller closed group, maybe 20, 30 people, and maybe a larger discussion with activists. If you have any thoughts on and ideas on how to take this forward, we will be taking this forward, then please write to us at foundation@moneylife.in so that we can streamline and make things very focused, especially about topics and who it is that you would like to hear from. I think with these few words, thank you very much to all our three speakers today, Vijayji, Vinitaji, and of course, Sailesh Gandhi. We are looking to you for guidance to take all this. This is a discussion I've had with you. Is there anything you want to say on this before I say goodbye and close it?
Thanks to Money Life and thanks to all the participants.
All right. Thank you so much. Good night, everybody, and thanks for joining us today.